Hey guys, Monica Taylor here. Happy Wednesday. We're going to call this What to Eat Wednesday. Today, our topic is going to be talking about clean eating and what that means and how do you really get yourself prepared and ready for Monday. So the first thing I want to remind you guys is if you haven't done it already, make sure that you take your before photos and your measurements. Post your before picture in our group so that we can help you stay motivated, and we will all be posting ours as well if we haven't done so. So today we're going to be talking about clean eating and what that is. Well, clean eating just means that you are eating food that's the most in its most natural form, so free of additives and preservatives or anything artificial. So you're really trying to look for the foods that are minimally processed, if not processed at all. And so if you think about when you go to the grocery store, typically anything that's coming in the form of a box, package, mix, or bag is typically processed or has artificially added things to it. And so a good rule of thumb is the less ingredients, the better, and the more clean it is. And so we typically try and look for 5 ingredients or less. If you can't pronounce an ingredient that's on the back of the label, then more than likely you have no idea what it is, and it's probably something that shouldn't be added to foods. So for example, if you're looking for applesauce and you pull one off of the shelf and you look at it, the less clean option would be one that has high fructose corn syrup or any of the preservatives or additives. The cleaner option is to find a jar of applesauce that literally only has one ingredient, and that's apples. Now, one of the most common misconceptions is that eating healthier or eating more clean has to be more expensive, and that's totally false. Now, while some things may be more expensive, if you pay attention to things like what's in season for your vegetables and your produce, if you plan accordingly and ahead of time to make sure that you're not letting anything go to waste, I look for sale options as well, like things that are on sale. I check out the sales ads that come, typically for us, they come on Wednesday in my mailbox, and I also check online. And then I shop at places like Aldi, Trader Joe's. I do get several things from Costco just because it's cheaper in the long run. I love my Costco membership. I'm there frequently, and they have a lot of great organic options that are cheaper as well. So what you want to do is another good rule of thumb is the outside of the grocery store. So typically if you look at the layout of what a grocery store looks like, if you are shopping in the outer ring of the grocery store, you should be good. There are few things that you can get throughout, but the majority of the things are going to be highly processed and that we want to stay away from. So another thing, like I said, I shop at some of those lower end stores, but I'm also okay with shopping at multiple stores. So when I do my plan, here's kind of what my week looks like and how I prepare. And so what I've done for you guys is I've taken what I normally do for my meal plan, I've created it for you, as well as a grocery list, so that literally you can go through and you can check out what I have on the menu for the week. You can figure out if there's something that you want to substitute for it, or maybe you can't have it, or maybe you're dairy-free or you're gluten-free or whatever it is, and you can substitute for whatever I've done. But I've really taken the guesswork out of it because you want to keep it as simple as possible, especially in the beginning. For me, this group is all about, the majority of my groups are all about being busy moms or busy wives or busy women. We've got 500 million things going on. The last thing I want is a complicated meal plan that I'm not going to follow anyways. So I try and keep my recipes super, super simple. I use my crock pot a lot because I can throw all of the ingredients in there and leave it alone and not have to worry about what's cooking. I prep a lot of things ahead of time, and we're going to talk about that later this week and how I do that. But I do a lot of things beforehand. So I sit down on Wednesday or Thursday, and I take a look at what our schedule looks like for next week. If we've got a game or a practice or something, that's typically a night where I use my crock pot. And so I use everything that I buy on my grocery list. So if I have something for dinner, typically my leftovers are going to be my lunch. because again, you want simple, you want easy. When things get too complicated, it's a lot more difficult for you to follow it. So even in the beginning, if that means things are a little bit more routine until you get it down and you're having the same thing for breakfast every day, until you know and you've got it, and then you can start slowly changing things, then do it. Is it making a little bit of a sacrifice for you to have the same thing every day? Yes, but if it's going to keep you on track, why not do it now to make your life a little bit easier? So to start it off, the first thing that you need to do is every single program, no matter which program you have, has one of these lovely nutrition guides. You need to read this. I cannot stress it enough how important this is to you. Do not open your box and just throw it to the side. This is your lifeline. So you are going to go through and you're going to look. The first thing is it's probably going to have an introduction. Shortly thereafter, it's going to tell you how to calculate your calorie deficit and what your calorie intake should be. Almost the 90% of the programs now with Beachbody use the 21-day fix portion control containers. And so this calorie bracket is going to tell you how many containers you can have for each calorie bracket. So I'm just going to use the 21-day fix as an example because I know that's what a lot of our challengers are using. If you're using a different program like 22-minute hardcore or size or hammer and chisel or extreme, they're all going to be the same basis and you're still going to follow the guidelines that are within the book. So you're going to go through and you're going to calculate what your calorie target is. So take note because today, one of today's assignment is to write out which calorie bracket you're in. So then with, for instance, 21-day fix, you're going to flip through a little bit. This is talking about your water and what you can add to your water. We're going to talk a lot about how to infuse your water and not add those little supplement things that you can get at the store. You're going to flip to, in the middle of it, it's going to tell you this is your container count. It's going to tell you if you're in the 1,200 calorie bracket, how many green containers you can have, how many purple containers you can have, how many red containers, and that kind of thing. So then what I do is I will sit down and I do my dinners first. Because for me, my mornings typically look the same every morning. I have the same oatmeal and eggs for breakfast, my Shakeology for my morning snack, and then my lunch is always leftovers. So the two things that I need to create or add to some spice to are my snacks for my afternoon and my dinners. So I make my dinners first so that I know how many containers I have left and I know what's going to be my lunch for the next day. Then I will come up with like 5 to 6 different snack ideas. I'll choose 2 for the week and I'll make up several of those ahead of time on Sundays. So your assignment today is to, number one, I want you, here's the great thing, guys, if you do not have your package yet, you still have access to your nutrition guide. All that you need to do is you need to log into your Team Beachbody account. You're going to click on where it says Beachbody On Demand, and it's going to have you sign in, and if you haven't filled in all of your information, it's going to have you fill it in, but you get 30 days free of that, and with that, you get access immediately to your program. So you can click on there, and you can click on the FAQs, and it's going to say Nutrition Guide for 21-Day Fix or for 22-Minute Hardcore, and you can go ahead and start looking through that right now. So even if you don't have your program, it's totally fine because you can look at it ahead of time. So your homework assignment today is to, number one, start reading through your nutrition guide. If you have questions about this, this is the time to ask so that we can help you get fully prepared for Monday. The second thing is to post in the comment section of this that A, you've watched this video, and B, which calorie bracket you are in. Then the last thing that I want you to do for today is I want you to go through your cupboards. You're going to take a look at what you have in there. We call this our cleaning out week. So you're going to look and you're going to go through. And now what I typically do, because I have kids, and guys, we're not perfect. My kids still eat Cheez-Its. They still have chips for lunch. Now, do we try to make more healthier options? Absolutely. But they're not completely and entirely wiped clean of everything. I just try and do my best to steer them with better options for snacks and healthy eating and that kind of thing. So what I do is I make a shelf that's specifically for them that has their things on it. And then everything else I clear out. I don't necessarily throw it away. I do my best to donate. to, local food drives and that kind of thing. But I try and get rid of anything that I know is not on this approved list. So no matter which program you're doing, you are going to see that there is lists of foods that are approved. So if you're looking through your pantry and are going, this Pepsi, not going to be on here, y'all, go ahead and get rid of it. If there's, obviously Easter was last month, having Easter candy or Mother's Day candy, that kind of, just anything that you know is not going to be approved, and donating it, getting rid of it, cleaning out your pantry, and getting ready to start this new healthy lifestyle journey. So that's going to be your third and final assignment for today, is your Operation Eat Clean and cleaning out your pantry. I want you to take a picture of what you're cleaning out and what you're clearing out for a fresh start. And what you're going to see is with the meal plan that I give you, it's going to be on a tight budget. Like I said, my goal is you only get the things that you need, and everything that is on your list you will use. So nothing should go to waste, nothing should go bad if you're using it the way it's intended to be used. So that's your homework assignment for today. That explains a little bit more about what clean eating is. And now we're going to get prepared. I'm going to go ahead and post next week's meal plan for you guys and grocery list so that you can start looking it over, figuring out if there's anything that you want to substitute for it, and you can start mentally preparing to do your grocery shopping ahead of time. For me, what my schedule looks like is I typically meal plan on Thursdays or Fridays, and then on Saturdays or Sundays, typically Saturday mornings, I will go grocery shopping. And then on Sundays, I will do prepping and preparing and getting things ready. And so I will do that video for you guys. I'll show you how I prep for my week and to make myself successful and to stay on track. So today we're going to Operation Eat Clean. I want to see your guys' pictures. I want to see your before pictures if you haven't posted those. And I want to see what calorie bracket you are in. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to go ahead and post them below. And have a great day, guys.